What's up everybody, Vintage here from Back 48 EV. Today we're going over the Bmw Sertao G650Gs. This thing has a single cylinder 4-stroke engine, 4 valves, 2 overhead camshafts. It's got a 652cc 50 horsepower Rotax motor, and also has a consistent mesh 5-speed gearbox integrated into the crankcase. On top of that, a 3.7 gallon tank at approximately 425 pounds wet. $8,650 US.
Guys, what is up? It is Vintage here from Back 48 EV. Today I get the honor and the privilege to ride an awesome bike. It is the Bmw G650Gs. This model is a 2014, and my brother got a great deal on this, so he couldn't pass it up. I'm not going to tell you what kind of deal it was, but it was good enough to, of course, definitely not pass up. But yeah, these bikes are great. So today I got the honor and the privilege to go ahead and do a review on it. So we're out here in Washington State, of course. And we're out at Larch Mountain area, which is so beautiful out here. Very, very beautiful. So let's dig into it. All right, so my first initial thoughts of this actually came last year when I participated in the motorcycle relief project out in Colorado, and they rode GS series bikes out there, anywhere from this bike, which is kind of like it's the 650, all the way up to the 1200 series bikes. I got to ride the 800, the F800 GS, and I also got to test ride this bike for a little bit as well. And there is a huge difference in the motors. The 800 is an inline twin, where this motor is just a single Rotax motor made from the company Rotax. So Rotax, if you guys aren't aware of Rotax does a lot of motors for a lot of different companies. See, they make motors for Polaris, Can-Am. Anywhere where you see a BPM badge on a recreational vehicle, that's pretty much a Rotax motor. It is through and through a great motor. It's proved itself in the industry. A lot of companies that don't want to spend the money to design their own motor will go to Rotax and say, hey, let's put this in our bike. So that's what we're running with today. That's what BMW chose to do on their 650 motors. Let's see. I also had the opportunity to ride a V-Strom 650, and I kind of feel like the 650 V-Strom and this bike are probably in the same class. You know, the same motors, but you know, the V-Strom has the V, of course, the V twin motor, and this has a single. So there is a difference when on the freeway, of course. This bike has 5 gears, whereas you know, the V-Strom has 6. On the faster roads, like on freeways, to me this bike feels like it really needs to have a 6th gear for it to ride a lot smoother. Let's see, what else? So I don't think it came from factory this way, but it might have been the previous owner, since it only has about 2,000 miles on it. Previous owner, probably, I could be wrong, like I always say, I could be wrong, but down here where the forks are, it looks like he lowered it a little bit up top. And this bike has low, when you're on the roadway, this bike has a little bit of a wobble. You know, if you guys ever lower your forks down doing it this way, where you loosen up the triple clamp forks, and you're pretty much bringing up the tube fork. If you guys ever do that, make sure you guys are measuring each side properly, because if they're off, you'll get a wobble going down the road, and that's not safe at all. So guys, make sure if you're gonna do that, make sure you measure it correctly.
All right, so this is the Sertao. I could be pronouncing it wrong, but it's the Sertao G650Gs. First thoughts on this thing when we first picked it up, you know, is that it sits a little bit higher, and I believe this is kind of like the Dakar version. Previous years had the Dakar, and I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, please let me know. But I believe this is kind of like the Dakar version of this year. Another thing I did notice is these tires that really thin, and the forks are kind of a little bit small, but to me, when I've been riding it, it kind of makes it feel like it's kind of like set up like a dirt bike, which I really like. And I noticed that there's two different type mufflers on the back, and I didn't know this either. But one is the actual muffler itself, and one is kind of like just like a straight tube. So, you know, one will be shooting out the exhaust, while the other, you don't even feel anything. But chain drive 650 Rotax motor, like I said. So far I like it, but so my brother, he's gonna go ahead and buy some Continental, I believe they're called CK80s. Once again, I could be wrong on the name of them, but we're gonna go ahead and put these on here to get them more dirt worthy style tires, where I'm not gonna dump it, or he's not gonna dump it when we get out of this mess right here. But so this is it. This is the good deal that my brother ended up getting, and man, so far it's a great bike. You know, I think I might try to save up myself and get one as well. So yeah, the reason why we got such a great deal on it is because we got it at the Ducati Moto Corsa in Portland, Oregon, and some guy traded this bike in for a Ducati Multistrada. It's the new adventure bike. So I guess he got the bug. He got bitten by the dual sport bug and an adventure riding bug, and he must have been a rich guy, because those bikes are flipping expensive. I think they're like 23 grand on up, something like that. But yeah, all right, let's do some more riding.
Another thing I've noticed is, you know, it all depends on your personal preferences and your height and your weight and 1,000 other different things. But with this bike itself, the stock handlebars, I could use it'd feel a lot better if I had maybe a riser on it, standing up on the pegs. It would feel better if I had some sort of riser to lift it up. You know, Pro Taper, they make some good stuff for it as well. But if you're the type of rider that wants to do a lot of gravel roads and stuff like this, I'd definitely recommend getting some meatier tires for it. As what you guys saw, those are the tires that they come stock with. Nothing impressive. You know, they're more roadworthy. I would say maybe 90-10 is what they're good for. Another cool feature on these is a lot of the BMWs have the heated grips. These things get blazing hot. I put it on the 2 mark on here, and it was burning my hands up. So as of right now, you know, after riding this, you know, on the streets and off the streets, you know, what I did notice with the tires, the tire situation is I have a problem with you know, I try to have a happy medium where, you know, on-road and off-road use. The issue, I hate when people throw trash, but anyways, the issue that I see with this bike is there is no real happy medium with the tire situation. With the DR650, you know, I usually keep my tires at about 25 to 30, and on-road and off-road, it works very well. And but with this, the first day that I rode it, which was day before yesterday, and I was just kind of putting around. Hold on a second. Whoa. And that was kind of just putting around, really, around on asphalt. You know, the problem is you know, when your front tire gets low enough, it's going to want to turn for you, and there is no real happy medium for this tire. These tires right here are definitely, you know, great for road, and you got to keep them aired up to the normal pressure. But when you get off-road, you know, you got to deal with the on-off. So there really isn't any, you know, happy medium for, you know, these tires on road and off, unlike the DR650 that I have, which it does.
So what better way to show what this bike can do by a guy that actually rides any bike like it's a sport bike? My brother. As an avid stunt rider back in his misled youth, what better way to show what this bike can do than to do some wheelies and pushing the bike to its limits? This bike could definitely handle anything we gave it.
Alright, so this is day 2. We're actually out back in the same area that I was riding the other day. Overcast, a little bit different, but we actually put the TKC 80 tires on the bike, and I'm telling you, it is a world of difference compared to those street tires that they come stock with. So if you're a type of rider that is wanting to get into this type of riding right here, this is anything is better than the stock tires that's put on there. But these TKC 80s, you know, they hold their own, and they're very, very good into corners. You don't have to worry about slipping out from underneath you on the road. You know, they vibrate like any dual sport tire. But I don't have any concerns or anything about dumping, you know, going around a corner with these tires on here. So you get this bike, make sure you change them tires out. That is one of my only complaints with this bike, was the tires. There is a little bit of vibration, not coming from the it's not coming from the tires, but there's an engine vibration that actually goes into the pegs and kind of gets a little irritating. But I think those are the only two things that I can think of right now that I would have an issue with this bike. But overall, you know, I give it a 9 out of a 10. I'm very impressed with this bike overall and how it handles. So, but anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys joining me on this ride with the BMW G650Gs Sertao, or however the heck you pronounce it. But anyways, guys, we'll see you guys out on the trail. Vintage out.